What's up, everyone? It's been a while since my last introduction video. I've been having trouble finding parts. A lot of parts for this build are on back order, so I had to just look around different websites, different companies, and slowly getting parts. I'm a little bit behind schedule. I'm not where I would want to be at this point. This is week 3 going into week 4. I wanted to do it under a month, but it doesn't seem that's gonna be possible. This video I'll be covering the suspension, the steering, and the brakes. As I mentioned in my introduction video, this car already had full Maximum Motorsports suspension, which I installed a few years ago. So all I had to do is swap out from a Pushrod K-member to a Coyote K-member. The reason why I'm going with Maximum Motorsports is I already had most of the suspension, and as you can tell, and I'm sure you guys know, they build really good stuff, quality work. You can just see the extra bracing. Some of the other budget K-members out there, they don't have this extra bracing. There's also a bar that goes in between here, that point there, and that point, but I'm leaving it out until we drop the engine in. Quality metal, quality welds, as you can tell. This is a street car, so this is a K-member I trust. I've used other brands out there, and I won't call them out. They rust. The welds don't look all that great. They're light. You lose a lot of weight, but to be driving that every day on the street, like I drive this car, I just don't trust those. Besides Maximum Motorsports, I would go with UPR and Team Z. Other than that, I wouldn't waste my time with some of the other K members. Sure, you're gonna save some money, but in the long run, you'll run into issues with fitment, or you'll have to run spacers. There's just I've seen too many issues with those K members. So yeah, I went from a Pushrod K member to a Coyote K member. I'll cover the suspension. I've been asked a few questions about the suspension. So as you can tell, Maximum Motorsports, caster camber plates. See if I could get in here. Maximum Motorsports coilover. That's a Koni adjustable strut, front and rear. Let's see here. What else do we have? These A-arms are non-offset, which if you decide on going non-offset or forward offset, it's going to push your front wheels closer to that fender, so you may have clearance issues or rubbing issues. So per Maximum Motorsports, I installed this what is this called? This turnbuckle that pushes your fender out enough for clearance. And I use, as you can tell, just a factory location there. I try to stay away from cutting or drilling into this car. This sway bar is from a SVO. It's slightly thicker than your 5.0. Also have the Maximum Motorsports sway bar relocation. There are aluminum bushings for your rack, and your steering shaft also is from Maximum Motorsports. So yeah, no issues with this K-member as I expected. It bolts right in. No clearance issues, nothing yet so far. For the steering, I'm using the factory steering rack. As you can tell, it's a little dirty, but it works. It works for me. For the brakes, I'll be using a 99 through 04 master cylinder and the Hydro Boost unit. Yeah, let me see if I can find. I had a business card somewhere around here where I bought all that stuff from. There you go. So if you check these guys out on eBay, it's a salvage yard, and they deal with Mustang takeoffs. They have a bunch of stuff. I bought a lot of things from them. I bought this whole unit complete takeoff with all the lines. As you can tell, they're installed. All the lines that go into the rack, your power steering pump. I also bought a power steering pump from them. They have some good prices. What else have I bought from? Oh, these spindles are from, let's see if I get a better angle, 99 through 04. I bought these spindles from them. They recondition them and they come with brand new hubs and that brake dust shield. I think for $230. If you look them up on eBay, they have great prices. I went with the Maximum Motorsports Hydro Boost adapter. No issues there. No cutting, no welding. Once again, pretty straightforward. I have the instructions here. So yeah, these two lines, I didn't understand this at first until I got my hands on this kit. One of those lines goes to your pump, which that line connects. Let's see, where's it at? Right there, that red thing right there. The other line connects to right there, that bottom port. This top one, which also came in the kit, connects to the factory cooler. That line that's capped off is gonna connect to, let me show you guys. This reservoir also came with it. It's gonna connect here. This longer line will connect to this back port with the red cap. And this thicker hose is going to connect here. I'll be covering this bracket and the engine in a later video. Just want to cover the brakes for this video. Also went with Maximum Motorsports brake lines. They're already bent, they're already flared. All you have to do is install them. So one thing to note, the Hydro Boost units for SM95, there's two. There's 96 through 98 and 99 through 04. Each of those units have two separate master cylinders, and you have to know which one you have to order the brake lines. So 96 through 98 have two master cylinders, and 99 through 04 have also two master cylinders. Doesn't matter if it comes off Cobra, a Mach 1, a GT. The only difference is whether or not it has traction control. This one is a traction control unit, and you can tell by this front port is larger than this rear one. So be careful out there when you're buying Hydro Boost units. Some of them are missing this block, and you'll later find out. Some of them will be priced more expensive because they come off Cobras, but they're exactly the same. GTs and Cobras are exactly the same. The only thing is whether or not, like I mentioned, it has traction control. I'll show you the bracket and the hardware that came with this adapter, and also the brake pedal. Simple install. That's what I try to go for. As close to factory as possible using factory hardware. So this is the Maximum Motorsports adapter also. So the wiring is ran for the most part. I'll be covering that also in a later video. Yeah, we're just waiting on the headers. I already have the 600 from LMR, drive shaft, bunch of parts everywhere. Just working in this one car garage. The engine is pretty much ready to go. I'll go over it in detail as far as what I have. That has the power by the hour front accessory drive. The wiring out here is ready to go. I'll be running the battery in this passenger side. What else? Being that I have a 600, I'll be still using the factory speed cable and factory gauges, which I'll cover at a later time. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Once again, I'm trying to use factory parts as much as possible. No issues whatsoever. And this bolted right up. Have enough clearance for the wiper motor, which I'm happy about. I do drive this car in the rain. I drive this car as much as possible. It's a street car. I'll also be covering the budget, how much this is costing me. Way under budget than I expected. I was gonna wait on a supercharger, but now that I'm under budget, I'm looking for a 2650 Edelbrock, and hopefully I can find a used one. If not, I'll have to buy it new. But yeah, guys, you can accomplish this in a 1-car garage, 2-car garage. You don't need a lift. If you have some experience wrenching on cars, as you can tell, this is all I use right here. I have this toolbox from Harbor Freight with all the tools I need for this car. Parts everywhere. Harbor Freight, engine hoist and engine stand. So you don't need a bunch of high dollar stuff to build these cars. At the end of the day, it's just the engine, nuts and bolts, no biggie. So yeah, once again, if you guys have any questions, just comment down below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. So yeah, thanks again for watching and stay tuned.